Napoli, Italy, ending with gratitude. Every journey ends, but memories begin. Welcome to Napoli, Italy. Naples is alive. Streets talk, pizza smells, people smile. Walking in Naples after cruising feels emotional. You return richer, not in money, in moments. This cruise taught me something. After 50, don't shrink life, expand it gently. Travel teaches patience, sea teaches humility, and land teaches gratitude. Napoli. Farewell to the sea. Today, Napoli welcomed us with kindness. The weather was beautiful. Bright blue skies, gentle sunshine, and just enough breeze from the sea to make the morning feel fresh and alive. After a few ports with changing moods and rough waters, today felt like a quiet blessing. Sometimes when we travel, we feel pressure to do everything. Every tour, every attraction, every long excursion. But today, we chose differently. Instead of rushing off on a structured tour, we decided to stay nearby, around the port area, exploring slowly, absorbing the atmosphere of old Napoli at our own pace. And honestly, it felt right. As we stepped out and began walking into downtown, I noticed something immediately. Napoli has character. It is not polished in a perfect way. It is real, lived in, full of layers. The streets were alive but not overwhelming. Local cafes spilling onto sidewalks, scooters passing gently, conversations in Italian flowing like music in the air. We walked slowly, no hurry, no checklist. When you walk slowly, especially at this stage of life, you see details others miss. The textures on old buildings, the faded colors of centuries old walls, small balconies with laundry dancing in the breeze. Every corner tells its story. Near the museum area, we paused for a while, just standing there observing. These heritage sites have stood quietly through wars, changes, generations, and yet they remain dignified. There is something deeply comforting about old heritage sites. They remind us that time moves forward, but strength comes from foundations. Napoli's old architecture carries history in its stones. You don't need a guide to feel it, you just need presence. As we moved back toward the port area, the sea kept appearing between buildings, sparkling, calm, almost smiling. This episode is called Farewell to the Sea, and I truly felt that emotion today. Standing near the port, watching the water, I felt gratitude. Gratitude for the journey, gratitude for safe travels, gratitude for health that allows us to walk, explore, and experience. We could have taken a long tour. We could have rushed to see more. But sometimes wisdom is choosing less and experiencing more. After 50, travel becomes less about ticking boxes and more about soaking moments. Today was not about grand sightseeing, it was about feeling Napoli, breathing it, walking its old streets, letting the sunshine touch our faces, letting the sea breeze remind us that every journey eventually reaches a quiet pause. As we slowly made our way back toward the ship, I looked back at the city once more. Napoli did not shout for attention. It simply stood there, timeless, imperfect, beautiful. And as our cruise nears its farewell to the sea, I realized something very important. Journeys ends, ports change, ships move on, but the calm we collect inside ourselves, that stays. And that is the true souvenir. As Odyssey brings me back to Civitavecchia, my heart carries Santorini's calm, Ephesus' strength, Mykonos' smile, and Italy's warmth. If you're watching me and thinking, maybe someday, let that someday become today. Because the sea doesn't ask your age, it asks your courage. And your best journeys are still waiting.